Pick up the phone, cousin. Are you there? It's story time. Hello, cousins. I'm back. New bandana. Because this is a story about the time my uncle saved my entire family's life in a McDonald's parking lot. So this story begins in a time long before cell phones, which is important context. So growing up, my mama used to cook every day except Fridays. On Fridays, we got fast food. And this particular Friday, we were going to McDonald's, okay? Very exciting. And so it's me, my mom, and two of my younger brothers, and we pull up to the drive-thru, we place the order, and of course, what happens, my brothers start jumping me because they're younger than me, but they're only a year apart, so they used to have to team up on the kid. And so they start jumping me. Wow, 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 wow. We fighting in the back seat. And my mom, of course, is like, stop all that wrestling back there. It's getting boom, boom, the car shaking. And then all of a sudden we feel boom. And we all obviously shook, but we look behind us and the car behind us has slammed into our car. And so my mom stays calm, gets out the car, and the person who hit us immediately starts screaming, talking about, it's your fault, blah, 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 you can't drive, kind of going off. And it's like, sir, we're parked. You rammed us, but whatever. My mom calms him down, I think, gets back in the car and starts going through the glove compartment to get her insurance, because you gotta do that. And while she's doing that, this man gets in his car, drives, pulls up next to my mom, and blocks her from getting out of the driver's side. He gets out of his car, stands in front of our car, folds his fist and starts saying, cash or blood, cash or blood. And so my mom is like, oh, hell no. So she can't get out of her side because his car is there. She can't back up because the cars behind us in the drive-thru are honking like, girl, I need my order. And so she crawls out across the passenger side and goes into the McDonald's. Meanwhile, me and my brother's in the car scared, terrified as this man is just still standing there talking about some cash or blood. Seemed risky for her to leave us there, but whatever. She barges into the McDonald's, is like, I need to use your phone. Again, no cell phone. So she gets on the phone, calls my grandma's house. I'm assuming because my grandma's house is right around the corner from this McDonald's. She calls the house. My grandma picks up and is like, hello. My mom is like, who there? Who at the house? My grandma's like, your brother here, your brother here. And my mom hears the faintest hint of jazz music playing in the back. She smiles, get off the phone, go back to the car. So my mom come back to the car with her arms wide out like, you don't effed up now. You don't effed up now. My brother coming over here. And you gotta remember, we from a small town, so everybody know each other. And so the dude who hit us is like, yo, brother, ain't your brother Boom? We ain't scared of that nigga Boom. He owe me money. But what he didn't know is that it wasn't my Uncle Boom who was coming. It was another uncle of mine, which means I gotta change my house colors. Because cousins and gentlemen, I now introduce to the family tree, Uncle Bud. So a little bit about Uncle Bud. First of all, he's my favorite uncle. He the life of the party. Can't nobody barbecue like him. He loved jazz music. And most importantly, can't nobody out petty Uncle Bud. As an example, one time my Uncle Bud needed somewhere to stay because he traveled a lot. And so he came back home and he told Auntie Backyard, I need to stay here for a little while. And she, as she often does, says, no, nigga, and shut the door in his face. And so my Uncle Bud didn't take that lightly and disappeared for 2 weeks. Nobody knew where he was. And so Auntie Backyard, feeling bad, in the house, listening to Mary J. Blige, real sad, but also probably not sad because she got the house to herself. When all of a sudden she hears from outside with the subtle sound of jazz music playing. And she goes outside to find my Uncle Bud pulling up in a Winnebago that he parks outside of the house, opens the door and says, hey sister, or should I say neighbor? And so now I want y'all to go back and think about all the stories that I've told and think about them with this new knowledge that if a story is taking place at Auntie Backyard house, sitting outside of that house is a Winnebago with my uncle inside listening to smooth jazz. If you think about the auntie brawl, it was more like this. Some additional family lore is that all my uncles were star athletes in their youth, okay? One ran track, one was a bodybuilder, and Uncle Boom was a football player. He was so good that he was recruited for a traveling team and he traveled all around the world and he had just gotten back into town, which explains why this angry driver didn't know what was coming his way. And so in less than a Compton minute, my Uncle Bud was standing at the end of that McDonald's driveway, blicky, hidden beneath if you know what I'm saying. But he wasn't alone. He was standing there with 5 or 6 other dudes who must have all also been former professional athletes because I'm telling you, yoked. And so they standing there looking like D1 niggas with attitude. Angry driver standing there looking like the Hamburglar. My mama off to the side with her arms crossed like, mm-hmm. And me and my brothers in the car, shook. And I'm just thinking, all I wanted was nuggets. I just wanted nuggets. I wish you would have cooked today. And what happened next shocked my Uncle Bud, shocked the angry driver, shocked me, and definitely gonna shock you.
It's the motherfucking D.R.E. Dr. Dre, motherfucker.